So it's a new year and you've made a new resolution that you want to save money on groceries this year so that you can meet your financial goals and reach your budgeting goals and invest and save and all of that. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And the best thing that we're going to talk about today is how you can save money on your groceries without couponing. This is Rynette with Freedom and Passive Income, and if this is your first time visiting this channel, I would love for you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can get the latest tips, strategies, and information to support your desire to dream, believe, and achieve freedom and passive income. So it's January 2020 and you have made the resolution that you want to save money this year, you want to reach your budgeting goals, you want to invest, you're looking at retirement, you're looking at maybe starting a business, but you're also dealing with the practical reality that you need to save money. You need to have some money, some seed money in your budget to start these objectives and to pursue these goals. And so today I want to talk about saving money on groceries because that's it's a pretty big expense for everyone, no matter where you are in your financial journey. And the biggest thing though I want you to take away from this video is that you can save money without having to coupon. And I am not against couponing. I started years ago, I had a big plan and I was couponing, and I had the little book with the little pie thing where you would cut out your coupons, and I had it all down to a science. But the thing that I realized, I was saving money on a lot of, like toiletries, toothpaste, mouthwash, garbage bags, and then other things like novelty items, not basic staples that really hit you in your budget, like eggs and meats and milk and cheese and just all that bread, just all those basic things that you buy. I wasn't really saving a lot of money on that, and so what you don't want to do is you don't want to buy something because you have a coupon for it. That really defeats the whole purpose of saving money. So I kind of backed away from that. Not that I don't ever use coupons. If I have a coupon for something that I'm going to buy anyway, I will go ahead and try to save it and not forget about it and use it at the next time I go to the store. But I don't spend a lot of time going through the newspapers and getting newspapers and cutting out coupons and looking at all the sales. I'm not saying that that's not a good thing to do. There are a lot of people that do that so that they can donate to other organizations, and that so that's how they give in their time and their talent in being able to do that. But that's not really my gift, and that's not really my goal. So what I want to do is share with you how I save money on groceries. And so the very first thing that I do is I create a list. I never go to the grocery store without a list. And I've learned this over the years that if you just go to the store without a list, two things happen. The first thing that happens is a lot of times you buy a lot of things that you don't need. You do a lot of impulsive shopping, and then you forget the stuff that you really needed, so that you end up having to go back to the store throughout the week, and that just perpetuates even more opportunities for impulsive buying. So it's really, really important to have a list. I try, for the most part, I only go to the grocery store one time a week. And if we don't have it, have something in particular, normally I can wait till the next week, because what I'll try to do, especially if something is on sale, I'll try to buy two of something. So I can get lotion at Walmart for $1. So I'll go ahead and buy, if I don't have any lotion, I'll get 2 bottles of lotion. Then that way, if I run out, when the first bottle runs out, then I won't have to go to the store in the middle of the week. I can just pick up another bottle on my next run, which is normally on Friday. So the one thing you absolutely do not want to do is do not go to the grocery store without a list. Do not go to the grocery store hungry. So that's the first thing. And before I take that back, before you make your list, you definitely want to plan out your meals. Think about what you want to do is go through your refrigerator and your pantry and look at what you have and plan your meals for that week, and then make your list. So I'm sorry, making a list isn't the first thing. The first thing you want to do is you want to plan your meals. And there are a lot of different ways you can do it. Some people do, bulk I don't know what you call it, but they do bulk meals and they will plan out their meals that way. And so there are a lot of different ways you can plan out your meals, but I pretty much just think about what we have. And if I feel like we have enough of what we need, then I'm really just going to the store to just buy the things that, that we absolutely don't have. I'm not necessarily buying for meals because I've gotten to the point where I have so much food that we can pretty much eat whatever we want. And this is not fast food, and I'm gonna show you how I go about doing that. So you plan your meals, you go to the store with the list, you buy what you need. Then the next thing is, most people, not all people, but a lot of people, I know for my family, I have a son with special needs, and then I have a daughter that's still at home. So I have two kids still at home. I have one that's out on her own now. But even when she was at home, I didn't really make huge meals. And I just would make a normal meal and we would still have a lot of leftovers. And I absolutely hated wasting food. I lived with my grandmother for several years, and she was one of the from the greatest generation. And so they went through the Depression. And so that was one thing. You did not waste food, especially if it was, someone that created it from scratch, home cooked meals. You ate everything on your plate. And so that's not always practical, these days. And so I absolutely hated wasting food. So what I did was I came up with this, and I tried all kinds of systems. I tried taking whole meals and freezing them, and that didn't really work out. And I tried lots of different things. And this is what I finally came up with. And this has worked for me for years. So this is what you do. Once you've made your meals, your meal, for the day or whatever, and whatever is left over, if it's not a vegetable or a runny type of like a soup, or sometimes you can do this with soups, but I typically do this with breads, and casseroles and meats. This is what I do. So I will cut whatever is left over. I will cut the leftovers into individual servings, and then I have some examples that I brought with me. Then what I do is I buy these, I don't know if you can see it, if it's coming up. Yeah. So these are fold top plastic bags. And so they look like this. They're sandwich bags, and they look like this. And if you notice, they don't have the ridges on it, and I'll explain to you why that's important. But you want to buy the plastic bags that are fold top that don't have the ridges on them. And then I also buy the 1 quart storage bags. So I buy both of these. And then what I do is, whatever I have made, if I have any leftovers, and I do this when I go to restaurants also, and especially this works wonderful for after the holidays when you have all this food and you're not going to be able to eat it, without having to throw it out, because they tell you don't eat food after so many hours or so many days, and you end up throwing away all this food. I never throw away holiday leftovers. I always have, and I'm not kidding, I have months of holiday leftovers. So this is what I do, and I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to show you some pork chops. So I made some pork chops. I put pork chops in the crock pot with, and I made gravy with it. And so I had these pork chops left over. And what I did was, and I do this all the time, I do this with meatloaves, so any type of meat. And I'll also do this when when I bought something in bulk and I'm freezing it. So what I did was, once the leftovers have cooled off, it doesn't have to be cold, just as long as they have it, as long as they've cooled off to like room temperature. So this is like a piece of pork chop, and it's got a little bit of gravy on it. Sometimes I can get a lot more gravy in there, but this time it's just got a little bit of gravy on there. So I wrapped it up in this bag right here. And so I have 2 pork chops that have a little bit of gravy on it. And then once I have put them in this bag, then I take it and I put it in a quart bag, and I just get the air out of it, zip it up, and I put it in the freezer. And so what that does is, and I got this little lunch thing. So what that does is that, and I do that, over and over and over again, whatever I make. And so what happens is over time, I've accumulated all these leftovers in my freezer. So when we come home, we pretty much can have whatever we want. I'll ask my daughter, do you want meatloaf? You want chicken? Do you want pork chop? What do you want? And, you know, she'll make a selection, and then all I have to do is add a salad or some type of green vegetable with it. If you have, if you got some leftover rolls, I do this with my breads too. So I'll take cornbread and I'll eat a single cornbread and I'll put it in one of these, and then I have a whole bag full of, I have like, 4 cornbreads in here. So, or rolls or breadsticks, that type of thing. And so, she'll decide what she wants. And so all we have to do is add a vegetable with it or a salad and a bread, and you have a balanced meal without you having to go out to eat and get fast food that's not healthy for you, that's way overpriced, and then you don't have anything left over later. And so that's how I save money. That's the biggest thing that I do to save money on groceries. When you do that over time, you will notice how much food you will accumulate, and it also makes you aware of how much food you may have been throwing away before that. And so that's one of my favorite tips for saving money on groceries. Is you can do some couponing as needed, but to me, this is the biggest thing. When I go to a restaurant, I like to go to Olive Garden, and they have the best breadsticks, but I try not to eat all those breadsticks because, I'm trying to, watch my weight, and eating a whole bunch of breadsticks it's just not good. So I'll take the little, the leftover bag of breadsticks home, and I'll put them in I do this little system with them. So, if we have spaghetti or chili mac or whatever, we've got breadsticks in the freezer, and that's left over, and it wasn't something that I had buy extra or anything like that. And so that's the tip that's the biggest tip that I have for saving money on groceries. You can find a lot of YouTube videos about a lot of other things, but this is my tip. And I will, as time goes on, if I come across other things that I think will be helpful, then I will add those. I'll create videos for those. But that's what I have for tonight. So that's my biggest money saving tip for saving on groceries. And so looking at this in the big picture, so you want to save money. Groceries is one of the areas that you can save money, and you want to save money so that you can increase your cash flow. Why do you want to increase your cash flow? You want to increase your cash flow so that you can save money to invest or pay off debt or start a business. If starting a business will really help you reduce your tax liability if you know how to take the proper home business tax deductions. And so if you want to get a jump start on those things, in addition to saving money on groceries, you can also increase your cash flow with an instant pay raise on your paycheck. And if you don't know how to do that, check the link below. There's a description about how you can get an instant pay raise. So you can get an instant pay raise on your paycheck, you can save money with groceries, and then you funnel that all through saving, increasing your savings and paying off debt, and eventually starting your own home-based business so that you can get even more savings with tax deductions and things like that. So anyway, that's all that I have for today. If this video was helpful to you, I would greatly appreciate if you would hit the like button and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you can get more information on the tips and strategies that I'm going to have for saving money and investing money, and eventually starting your own home business so that you can increase your cash flow. So that's all that I have for today. All the best to your success, and I will see you in the next video.